Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you train, your running just isn't improving? You're running miles, you're putting in the time, the shoes feel right, the form looks fine, and you should be getting faster, and your progress should be improving, but you're not. Here's the thing, your running isn't broken, but these hidden factors might be stopping you from improving. So let's get into it. Number 6, hidden overuse injuries and micro trauma. Even when you feel fine, running creates these tiny amounts of tissue damage called little micro traumas, okay? And this seems harmless at first, but that constant pounding adds up like cracks in a sidewalk. 1 or 2 don't matter, but keep pounding on the same spot and the whole thing starts to weaken and crumble. Your body is constantly repairing, and that repair process quietly drains energy. It takes away from your recovery. So you might be training consistently, but all that hidden inflammation is showing up in your recovery and holding you back. Number 5, muscular imbalance or weakness. Look, this one's sneaky. If your hips, glutes, or core are undeveloped compared to other muscles, you're leaking energy every single stride. I wanted to quit. I wanted to pack it in. I didn't have anything left to give. I started questioning my life decisions. I was spiraling. I didn't know how to think. My world was crashing down in front of me. Last night was very difficult. You know, I've already tried to film this video like a couple of times and I keep failing. I'm on 2 hours sleep. I have a number of friends who have passed away in the last week. Another one went over to Switzerland to get medically induced assisted passing. There's certain things you can't see on YouTube or it just doesn't. Anyways, they were struggling for a very long time in a lot of pain and suffering, and he decided that that was the end of it. You don't know what people are going through. It's heart-wrenching. There's so many guys out there that just don't talk, that don't seek therapy, or if they do, it's in a bottle. Another friend lost their son to an overdose. And it doesn't matter what country you're in. You know, it's everywhere. My heart breaks in so many ways. I don't even know where to begin. And, you know, a friend of mine also, it's so hard, man, it's so hard. You know, another friend of mine said that, you know, that they're struggling. They opened up to me last night and they're like, how do you move forward when you lose a child? I'm like, how do you even answer that? How do you even put those into words? I mean, I didn't know what to say. I don't know what to do. You know, I got my own struggles. But I showed up, you know, and gave the person a big hug, told them I love them, told them that it was shitty, life's not fair, the good ones go early, like what, you know, I told them I'd be there for them. But what do you do? Like, how do you, I mean, look, everyone's got their beliefs, right? You know, some people believe in God, some people believe in the universe, a higher being, you know, whatever, whoever you believe in. Maybe take solace in that. But it doesn't diminish the pain. It doesn't diminish the hurt that's inside. Have you ever started an easy run only to watch your heart rate climb out of zone 2 even though your pace hasn't changed? Here's why it happens and what you can do about it. Do you ever wonder why your heart rate rises as you run, even when you're using the Maffetone method, and you find yourself it's getting higher and higher and higher. And then you start to kind of panic and go, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, what is wrong with me? Like, these are some of the things that I went through when I was using this method. So today I want to talk to you about ways that you can actually turn it around, what you can do, and the reasons why this happens to you when you're a runner. Looks like we found a camp. I think this is a kids club. Look, this happens to every Maffetone runner at some point. It doesn't mean you're broken. It just means we need to troubleshoot a little bit. Well, let's go for a run. This is just my experiences. Now, we all know how we feel after a long day of work, specifically if you've got a lot of deadlines that you gotta get reports out or whatever, or this financial stress, right? Maybe it's only one of you working in the family trying to pay all the bills. Maybe you're unemployed. Maybe you just maybe you've lost all hope and you don't know what's going on and you turn to running and you want to improve as a runner. Stress, lack of sleep, big reasons why you'll find that your heart rate starts to rise when you're on a run, specifically even when you're on an easy Maffetone run. Now this one here, a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it's your lack of aerobic base. It's poor development of your aerobic base. As hard as that sounds to hear, it is very true. There's a lot of runners out there who are very fast, but they run in that red zone so much. But if you slow them down, or even if you're new or a mediocre runner like me or whatever it is, I find that when I started this whole process of running slow to get faster, building my aerobic base, running slow at the same low heart rate, I found over time it works. Deep in the heart of my run, and I come across this. Absolutely stunning. Still a little lost. I'll find my way out of here though. The remains of an old mill, by the looks of it. Wow. All right, I am totally out in the sticks. And that's obviously some part to divert. Oh, wait a minute. That's going to divert the water. Let's take a look at what the sign has to say. Okay, I got somewhere. Kind of made my way back to the river. It's really low though. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I need to continue on. There's my faded trail marker. And I just got rid of a slug that was on me. I don't know how I got a slug on me. Oh, I am so far away. Where does this go? It's beautiful regardless. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, can I just stay? I don't need to go home, do I? Seriously. Oh, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to sit and chill. But if I stay too long, I'm going to get cold because it was raining and I got wet. So, what a beautiful spot though. Clearly, people were having a campfire. Oh my gosh. I've never been here in my life, and what a surprise. But again, how beautiful is that? All right, let's see if I can get back on the trail. Have you ever wondered how on earth it ended up here and what the history of it is? I know I do. You got to remember, a car came down probably in the 30s, and it's going on almost, 95 years. So a lot of the trees would have grown immensely since that time. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it was a farmer's car back in the day. The remainder of the day. And how on earth did I end up here? It wasn't a planned run. It just kind of happened. I think it's going to be 14K when I'm all said and done. But I'll tell you, Ontario is one beautiful part of the world. And I'm so happy that I get to call it home. Have you ever wondered how much your heart rate actually drops as you lose weight? Look, this is what happens inside your body when the pounds come off, and how it changes your running pace. Look, I know because this is my full experiment and this is what I did. When you're carrying extra weight, your heart has to work harder to push oxygen to every muscle in your body. And that means higher heart rate, higher effort, and slower pace, even if your fitness is solid. Weight has a big effect, but as your weight drops, your cardiovascular system adapts pretty fast. Look, I'll show you exactly how many beats per minute you can expect to lose, how much faster you will run as your body composition changes. Hey, my name's David, I'm the Plant Powered Runner, and I've been using the Maffetone method, aka Zone 2 training, for many years. And I've done a lot of experiments and tests and run marathons, half marathons, and even an ultra marathon. So I kind of know what it's like to also be a heavier runner, losing the weight to get faster. And I did a lot of experiments over the last number of years. So I'm sharing this with you to kind of give you an inner look to see, let's say, weight of 225 pounds or 102 kilograms. If you're running, let's say 10K, pace was 7:35 per kilometer. And my average heart rate, let's say, was 142. And look, that's a solid aerobic run for somebody who's kind of heavier. And, I've been running out what was my kind of like my Maffetone training, my upper end Zone 2 ceiling, which is, probably pretty good for fat burning efficiency and endurance building. Same pace. So 5 pounds or 2.3 kilograms would equal about 1 to 2 beats per minute. 10 pounds or 4.5 kilograms could be 3 to 4 beats per minute. And 20 pounds, 9 kilograms is 6 to 8 beats. 40 pounds, 18 kilograms would be about 10 to 15 beats. So if you drop from 225 like I did to 195, you could expect to see an average heart rate at the same pace fall from 142 beats a minute to about 127 to 132 beats a minute, assuming you maintain your aerobic conditioning that you're currently working with now. And that's like 3 to 4 runs per week. You know what most runners get wrong about heart rate training? They think it's all about running slow. And yet, sure it is, but the truth is that that's only part of it. I've seen so many runners quit this method because of so many reasons. And I think the biggest one is they think that it's not working. Their pace gets slower, their watch frustrates them, and they start to think, this can't be right. I must be doing something wrong. But that's the moment you're actually on the edge of your biggest breakthrough when it comes to heart rate training. So let's break down the biggest mistakes runners make when training by heart rate. And the important thing, how to fix them so that way you can actually get faster, stronger, run longer, be more consistent, and lose weight. The first issue I would say is heart rate lag. And that means your heart rate doesn't react instantaneously. So when you speed up a hill, it can take like 10 to 30 seconds for your heart to kind of catch up to. That means if you're watching your heart rate obsessively, like I've done in the past, you'll be constantly chasing it. And what I mean by that is speeding up, slowing down, overcorrecting. Heart rate training works best when you are literally running steadily. I think on a long run, an aerobic base run, putting in those miles, the recovery runs, like not quick surges, not sprints, not 400-meter repeats on the tracks. So if heart rate training spikes a little late, that's normal. Don't freak out. Look, trust the process and maybe try a chest strap. They work really well. Get back. Hey, bear. Or whatever the heck you are. Get away. Get away. Hello, I'm human. You don't need to eat me. Turn around. Go. Go. So look, this is the dark side of low heart rate training. Before looking at the benefits, it's validating to acknowledge why most runners struggle with this method initially. Look, the internet is full of runners venting about specific frustrations. There's the ego walk. It's the most common complaint is the need to walk to keep the heart rate down. And for many runners, running at 130 to 145 beats means slowing to a 13 to 15 minute mile pace, which can feel literally embarrassing, specifically when you're uploading data to public platforms like Strava or look, the shuffle mechanics, runners often find it physically awkward to run so slowly. Form can break down, leading to shuffle that feels unnatural and can sometimes cause new aches because the biometrics are different from their natural stride. And look, there's also boredom and monotony. And look, without the dopamine hit of a hard workout, these runs literally can feel incredibly long and mentally dull. Then there's the cardiac drift trap. You might be starting at a nice steady pace, but 30 minutes in, your heart rate spikes despite holding the same speed due to heat or fatigue, forcing you to slow down even more as the run progresses. And then there's doubt, because it doesn't feel like a workout. Many runners struggle to believe it's actually making them faster. Number 2 is the capillarization, which is the low intensity running increases the network of capillaries, tiny blood vessels surrounding your muscles. And so why this really matters for the half marathon training is, think of this as opening up more service roads to your muscles. It ensures oxygen gets delivered and waste gets removed faster during the race. And look, number 1, mental discipline, and that's the pacing strategy. Zone 2 requires constant ego checks and discipline to not run too fast too soon. And why it matters for running a half marathon is the biggest mistake I've made in a half marathon is going out too fast too soon, the initial 3 miles. Zone 2 training wires your brain to control the effort and ignore the urge to sprint early, which is the key to a negative split, finishing faster than you started. I may have done that once or twice in my time, but I'll tell you, it works amazing when you dial in. So look, if you like these videos, if these are helping you from like a non-elite runner, just a recreational runner who just takes what I learn and what I've experienced and just gives it to you, maybe like, subscribe, comment the videos. It really does help. Be proud of yourself for how you've handled this year. This year could have let you down. It could have broken you. It could have changed you. It could have been the worst year yet. But here you are. You didn't let this world beat you down and keep you there. You are still here. You've made it to the end of the year. And at the end, is a damn good place to be. The end of the worst can be the start of something better. I don't know about you, but I've fought so many silent battles this year while everyone thought I was fine. I had to humble myself, dry my own tears, pat myself on the back. I'm sure you did the same. Be proud of you, because you matter more than you know. If you're like me and you're in your late 40s, early 50s or beyond, you've been told by somebody else or you've told yourself that running is a young person's game. You try to keep up your old pace, you get injured, you get burned out. I found a way to not just keep running, but to make it the catalyst for becoming a better version of myself. It's about running, it's about slowing down to speed up. And it all starts with your ticker, your heart. Now there are 3 key topics: heart rate training, slow running, motivation, and the unexpected benefits that this all creates. So this is a deep dive. So there's a couple of ways that you can start off using slow running to help. And look, zone 2 training is that number 1 way, because I'm going through this every day that I'm out here trying to be the better version of me, trying to become a better person, using exercise, using running as my form of therapy, as my form of exercise to lose the weight. The form, I don't know, it forms all of my bases in what I do. But what I can say from me, who has struggled with anxiety and depression, is it has allowed me and it's given me a tool to be able to reflect, be able to calm my mind down, and it's allowed me to be able to kind of pull myself together and self-soothe in a way. And when I'm running, I'm in the present. I can't be doom scrolling like I mentioned before. It puts me into a different mindset, a different frame that allows me to be in the present, to be in the moment, and to not allow all those other negative thoughts to kind of come into my brain, because I got the endorphins going. I've got all of these things kicking like on high gear, and I'm feeling epic. I wasn't planning on seeing these clothes for a while, but we are at this point of time, no denying that the winter weather has arrived. I mean, I just threw everything in a box. So I don't know even where everything is, but at least I got my pants and my shirt. So that's a start. I did say changes were coming and I got to do something, but whew, it is a cold one this morning. And I'm not gonna lie, I just want to go back inside. Running is the easy part. Getting out of your head and trying to set new habits, new intentions, that's hard. It's difficult, but it's well worth it to get out there and make some changes. The hardest part is just getting outside, because once you get out here, the open road, it's a beautiful feeling. It was a 10K, pace 6:16 a kilometer. What was it, about an hour and 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Running through your 40s, 50s, and 60s is a different game than running in your 20s. The body changes and so does the strategy. Below is a breakdown of realities, pain points, and the rewards, benefits of running through these decades. The reality check, common pain points. Research indicates that the machinery, our body, changes during midlife. And here are the biggest friction points runners in this demographic face. The calf and Achilles, look, there's a shift. While younger runners often suffer from knee issues, like runner's knee, masters runners see a migration of injuries to the lower leg. The calf, the muscle, Achilles tendons lose elasticity and stiffness, making them the number 1 hotspot for strain and tendinopathy. The sticky fascia, connective tissue dries out as we age. The spring in our step diminishes because tendons aren't as palpable, leading to a sensation of stiffness, particularly in the morning or the first mile of a run. Like I always say, get out and run. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for being here.